It's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina. I've been getting a lot of requests since my first video doing a walk around of my new Mirage on how exactly I went about adding cruise control and fog lights to this car. And for the most part, it was a purely mechanical ordeal. The fog lights are Chinese knockoffs of the genuine Mitsubishi part. They plug right into the Mitsubishi harness, and all the Mitsubishis come with the fog light switch already on the stock, so it's just a matter of activating it through the software. And that's pretty much where I'm going to spend most of this video is the software that I use to make this all happen. As far as the cruise control, the cars come with a cutout for the cruise switch, the factory cruise switch, and thankfully the car is already wired for cruise control. So it was literally a matter of buying the right switch, installing it, and then once again going in, using special software and activating it. Now, if you feel like you don't want to deal with that, you can always install both these components and then take your Mitsubishi to the dealership and have them activated there. On the internet, I've read that the price for that goes from everywhere from free all the way up to $400. By the way, if you're charging $400 to do what I'm about to show you how to do it, you're a scumbag, so good for you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull this car in. I'll show you the hardware you're going to need to do this. It's going to cost less than about $30 between the actual hardware and the software and the download subscription to get this job done. So not an expensive task. The switch was about $70, the fog lights were $40, so for about $150 I got myself one heck of a nice Mirage. So let's go ahead and we'll pull the car in and I'll show you the rest of it inside, okay? Okay, so here we are. Now, you could probably do this with a laptop a lot easier than what I have set up here, but because I kind of run a small shop, I have a computer that I have dedicated for various automotive programs. So I'm using a regular, not a laptop, a base station. What do you call those things? Desktop, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. Base station sounded good though. Anyway, here is the tool that you will need to purchase. It's a USB tool. It is called a Mini VCI. It is a Mini VCI J2534. Standard OBD2 communication device. Now this I got off of eBay. I think I paid $17.99 with free shipping. It came with Toyota TIS software, a cracked version of that, which is really cool because I have a couple of Toyotas as well, and that's a different video. But if you're interested in Toyota workmanship, you can use the factory OEM software with this as well. So, but for this, we're going to use this. I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing into the car. Key on. I'm going to hook a jump box up to this because I do not want the battery going dead while I'm activating computer modules or changing the writing in the computer modules. And then I will zoom into the screen here and we'll go from there, okay? So here we are on the main screen here. I've got the Mini VCI hooked up to the OBD2 port on the Mirage. I've got the key on, engine off, and I have a battery booster box hooked to it to make sure the battery doesn't go bad while we are upgrading stuff. So here is the ETACS program, ETACS decoder, and I'm going to go ahead and double click on that. Should open that up, and there is a bunch of stuff here that is a little hard to understand. In fact, I had a pretty hard time understanding it. It is not an English produced program. It was made in Russia. The help desk, if you want to call it that, is absolutely useless, and they do like to take money out of your pocket for your mistakes. So be advised. Hopefully something better will come along here, but in the meantime, we can get through this. We can get through this. So here we are. We've loaded this up. It is telling me that I have exactly, okay, I don't care about that right now, but it's telling me I have exactly one more program or option change that I can make. You buy them in 5 packs, and I blew through 4 of them trying to get those 2 activated, but I was able to do it. It's trial and error. Hopefully I can save you the trial and error portion of this and get you right to where you need to be. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure your J2534 settings are set to the X horse adapter. My car has a dice also. Well, the dice is for Volvo. I also have one for Volkswagen. So there's drivers for those on my computer, but we're going to have it on that. We're going to set our COM port settings to COM4 on my computer, whatever the COM port happens to be, but these baud rates have to be the same. That is what's important, or it will fail when you do the right. So here is ETACS. Right, and we're going to go ahead and turn this thing on and see if it'll read. Hopefully it'll read. If it does, we should get our information. Yep, okay, there's our VCR. It's telling us that's our tool. It's going to read through the rest of this. Should give us our VIN and our ECU information here shortly. As you can see, it's doing stuff. Something to be aware of is that there's always the possibility of damage to a system when you're doing reprogramming. So be advised. I mean, I can't see how you could mess one up bad enough to make the car not run, but I'm sure if there's a will, there's a way, if you know what I mean. So be advised about that, okay? So as soon as this is done loading and it's just reading through everything, finding all the options the car has, there we go. Look at all this. So here we are. This is all the different stuff here, right? So these are all things that I can change. Do I want to change from Fahrenheit to Celsius? So these are all things that I can change. And I'm actually going to change something here. I can change average speed here. I can make that available. So let's go ahead and we'll make that available. Fuel consumption miles per gallon US, coolant threshold, normal, frost warning. Distance to empty, average fuel consumption, instant fuel consumption, that's not available. Trip computer's available. Let's see what else we got. Reverse alarm, I don't want that. Key reminder, yes. Speed alarm, not available. Rent-a-car mode. Service reminder, normal schedule. I would like that to be severe. There we go, severe. So I can change that, right? Now TCM, we're going to go through all this stuff. What I want to find here, the one I'm most interested in, is whether or not I can turn on or off. Some of this stuff's kind of interesting. Can I change the model year? So as you can see going through this, there's a lot of options here. Keep rolling down. What I want to do is I want to turn the seatbelt warning light off on this. Keyless door request, transmission cooler. We just keep going and going. There's so many options. Service reminder every 6 months. I'll keep it as that. Service reminder is 7,500. I would like to change that to 5. Now, don't have that option there, so we'll leave that one alone. So many options here. So many options. Key reminder, alarm, auto light control, auto control, high threshold. There's so much stuff. So here's my fog light, right? That's how I turn the fog light on. Present or not present. I changed that to present, and when I hit the programming, well, what do you know? It programmed it. Door lock system. I mean, there are so many things you can play with, and if you have purchased enough of this stuff, well, then go ahead and feel free to turn things on and off and see if you like it. All right, so I've picked these 2 items I'm going to be changing, and let's go take a look at some of the other stuff. Again, there's other programs you can use here. I'm going to go through, but there's SRS. I wouldn't recommend messing with that, but seatbelt warning indicator, I can get rid of that. I could turn that off if I want to get rid of the beep, you know. Passenger SRS lamp, you know, there's a lot of stuff here. Rollover sensor. Again, be very careful with what you start playing around with. Then we can get into DTCs. You know, if you want to read DTCs, you can actually look at that. And here's our tools. Wallet is how I reload these things if I you know, use them all up. And then we get into options. We get back to here. So I'm going to go back to ETACS here, and I'm going to go back to my engine. And the cruise control should be in here if I recall. Cruise control option, right? I've changed mine to present and accept. So those 2 are going to be not present, not accept. So you're going to change both of those. And we've already gone through the other one and changed our fog light, right? So we're ready to go here. We haven't changed anything there, but we are going to change these 2 on ETACS. And we're going to say right to ECU, okay? And this is where things get hairy, but here we go. Ready? Well, it looks like it did take. Interesting. So that's it. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. So you want to set this stuff up. You are looking at, let me see, present. I changed that and that. So yeah, it worked. That is how it works. Let me go back though. I want to go back to the options list. I want to make sure you understand that we want to make sure that that is set there, that is set there, and that the COM right here matches the COM right there. As long as those work, you should be good to go. And you can also, if you are worried, that was one other thing I want to do before we get out of here, because I know this is a bit confusing, but if you're worried that you're going to mess something up that you can't unmess, save to KON. That is a custom file that you can save the whatever the ECU or the whole system has saved already. You can go in there and save that, so that if something gets screwed up, you can always go back later on and load it from that. So just be aware of that. But I hope this helps some. This ETACS system is, like I said, it's kind of it's just kind of crazy, but it does work, and you are able to change a lot of features and functions. And you know, you can play around with this. If you buy the 10-pack or whatever, you can play more. Like I said, it took me several tries, and my issue was I did not have the COM port set to the right baud rate. And so first 3 times I tried to write, it refused to write. That being said, after that, it all worked out great. Here's our voltage. We have a voltage alarm level. It'll tell me if I get below, I think 11.4, it will no longer do right, but we're good to go. So, hi, I'm Eric, the owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. I am not a genius when it comes to this stuff, but I'm hoping that I showed you what you needed to do so that you can do it and get it done. That being said, take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet.